The Okeechobee waterway is the largest freshwater system in Florida and experienced widespread blue-green algae blooms in 2016 and 2018. With funding from NASA, my colleagues and I are studying this system to better understand why blue-green algae form toxic blooms, especially in the downstream estuaries.
Currently working on a NASA-funded project that involves developing remote sensing techniques for detecting blue-green algal blooms in Lake Okeechobee and downstream estuaries. Our data basically corroborates what the field observations are showing, namely that in 2016 and 2018, when there were large blooms in the lake, that shortly afterwards they were observed in the estuaries.
To keep lake levels appropriate, the Army Corps of Engineers would discharge some of that water to the downstream estuaries. Unfortunately, in 2016 and 2018, when they did those discharges, it carried a lot of this microcystis into those downstream estuaries.
Cattle ranching, dairy farming, all of these have seen significant changes in operational methods to help reduce nutrient loading into the lake. But at the same time, the population of Florida has begun to grow. So just the urbanization and growth of septic tanks has kind of begun to replace what was the problem previously.
As we move forward into the 2000s, we see a shift in Lake Okeechobee algae, where when the blooms occur, they're not nitrogen-fixing cyanobacteria, but they're Microcystis aeruginosa, this toxic cyanobacteria, also called blue-green algae, which automatically signals that we've had a shift from a lower nitrogen to a higher nitrogen pollution problem in Lake Okeechobee.
Now that lake water is getting very high nutrient water from the north. It's following populations, again, being linked to populations. And once that water gets shunted to the east and west regions of South Florida, we're seeing these algal blooms.
So there's really two big reasons to go after nitrogen in addition to phosphorus. One of them is that we can wean the lakes more quickly of nitrogen, making them more nitrogen limited. And then we got that downstream nitrogen limitation in our coastal zone, and we know we have problems in both places.
The Pahokee marina bloom in April 2021 showed the impact of sewage pollution, evidenced by elevated nutrients in the artificial sweetener sucralose. This was similar to blooms in the downstream estuaries following extreme rainfall in 2016 and 2018, where local human waste also fed the blooms.
When we look north to northern Florida, to central Florida, where we have a lot of these residential neighborhoods that are still on septic tank, while the plan is to get them into a sewer system, we also need to look at our sewer systems to find ways that we can go into an advanced wastewater treatment. It's not only the right thing to do, it's imperative that we start reducing all the nutrients from our systems. We have a tremendous amount of capability and engineering ability to do this. We now need to take action and move forward.